Hey everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're all doing well and you're having a great week. I am excited to share with you today that I will be redesigning a packaging design for one of my favorite treats. I have noticed recently in the last month or two that they have rebranded their packaging and now it's super not legible to me. And my goal is to redesign it so that it still has that cool hip vibe while being legible and accessible to people with visual impairments.
My name is Angela and I'm a visually impaired designer.
So here's the product. These are hyper chilled raspberries that are dipped in white chocolate and dark chocolate shell on the outside. I love these so much. I eat them all the time. They taste super good. But if you can see the packaging, it has like a medium bluish color and then it has a light yellow color for the text. This makes it hard to see for sure. Okay, let's get real here for a second. I can't read these at all. And when I'm at a grocery store, I like to look at the nutritional label and the ingredients to see if it's something that I want to be putting in my body. And I find it frustrating that even for this packaging here, because of the low contrast between the yellow text and the blue background, using a magnifier was even challenging. And I think that I can make this look better so that I don't need to use a magnifier. It still looks cool. Do you want me to buy your products or what? So I have a small bowl of these little treats here. So they have dark chocolate on the outside, so that's all you can really see. But then if you bite into it, much too good for children. Anyone who can name that movie gets a big thumbs up in the comments below. One of my favorite movies for sure. Any video that allows me to eat chocolate, I'm a fan of. So first let's take a look at their website and see what it looks like. All right, so we go on to Fru Tru. We have several different options. Apparently they have hyper dried and hyper chilled fruit. That's interesting. And let's see here. Here's a banner showing some of the stores that they have it in if you're interested in getting it. I personally got mine at Costco. I get them at Costco all the time, which is very convenient because I go to Costco anyways. That's where I discovered them. Then if we keep scrolling down, they have a little diagram explaining the difference. Then we're gonna go down, we'll look at their different products. I think it's a little confusing looking at this, that all the packaging is the same blue and yellow. I think maybe if they did something with changing the color up so it was more obvious what's inside the package. Because if we look at the packaging, other than the fruit being on the packaging, so here you can see the blueberries, you can see the raspberries and the cherries and whatnot. It's not very easy for me to tell from a distance what it is. You can see it's very small where it says what the fruit is. And I think that's actually more important to me than the brand name. So I think I have a pretty good idea of their website now. Let's go ahead and look closer at the packaging for the dark chocolate raspberry ones that I'll be redesigning. So it shows similar things that are on the packaging. I'm gonna go here and find the raspberries that are dark chocolate and white. Whoa. Let's look at the contrast between this yellow text and this blue background, and even look at this pink star system they have going on. I didn't even notice those stars. That's insane. Those are not readable. We have a picture of the packaging on the front. We have a nutritional label that's legible, people. This is way more legible than the one that's actually on the package. Why is this one not on the package? I still think they're just trying to be cool. I think I might be using this and putting it on the package. Because for me, nutritional fact labels should be strictly functional and not about how cool it looks or fitting the design of the package. Do you agree? So I've pre-downloaded the front and the back of this so you can look at it a little closer. All right, so for the front of the packaging, at the top here, we have, it says dark chocolate on the corner with a little bit more of a darker blue. And this is above / kind of on where the tear or cut line is. I don't think that's great because then if you take it off, it's not super obvious to me that it's dark chocolate other than the really small yellow text that's down here at the bottom. That's definitely something to consider. If there's something that modifies or changes your packaging after you open it, keep that in mind. I think it would be helpful if it said hyper chilled. That is like the selling point, that this is hyper chilled fruit. And it's something that I've never tried before until I found this randomly. So knowing that on here might be a selling point to me. I don't care necessarily as much about this logo, like I said before. I would love to see this information where it says Nature's Raspberries from Frozen. I can't even read it. See guys, I can't even read it. And I'm zoomed in on my screen. Fresh, frozen, fresh, in white and dark chocolate. So I think that needs to be more prominent. Now if we look at the back side, on the left side of the packaging, on the back, it has a little description of how it's created. Like I mentioned, it has a picture of it cut open. It has some of that information about the package. And then we have on the right side the nutritional fact label, the ingredients, and about how to best optimize eating them, instructions for eating these. Okay, so enough about this. Let's go ahead and jump into designing. I have some ideas that I want to try and we'll keep it simple. All right, we're gonna go ahead and measure the packaging now. So we know what size to make the artboards in Illustrator. Nine and a half by 8. We need a front and a back. We'll go ahead and make 2 artboards here. All right, so first I'm gonna pull in the images of the front and the back of the packaging so I can reference it. All right, so as a starting point, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the color of the packaging so we have some color for the background and the yellow as a starting point, and then I'll be changing it so that it's more legible. Okay, and then I'll create a color swatch here for the yellow. Oops, wrong tool. Grab that yellow in here. So the first thing that we need is this image that's down here or something similar. I found on their website a similar image. We're gonna go ahead and use that one. It's slightly different. I think it's for the old packaging, but I think it will work. So we're gonna go ahead and open this image in Photoshop. So I just need to use the quick selection tool real fast to select the part that I want to erase, and then we'll go ahead and throw it into our little design. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, now that I've isolated this and got it how I want, I saved it out. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in this file. Now I know this isn't gonna be perfect, but this will work for what we're doing. Place this image in, get it positioned how I want it. I think right there is pretty good. Then I'm gonna go in and isolate this one raspberry here and kind of use it to mimic this little pattern they have going on where it has the raspberries falling from the sky. All right, so I found this asset of like this chocolate dripping down, almost like it's being dipped in the chocolate. I thought this would be a fun way to add some contrast to the top of the packaging and the fact that these are dipped in chocolate raspberries. So let's go ahead and pull this into our packaging. I'm gonna go ahead and put it along the top here and then size it. And then because these are dark chocolate dipped in white chocolate, I'm gonna go ahead and create a white layer of the chocolate and put it behind it. All right, so we still need it to say True Fru, so let's go ahead and figure that out next. So a font I'd explored earlier on was the Super Claridon. I think it's pretty close to what they have. I'm fine with what they have. Let's see how that works. Let's see if we can find some glyphs for these little characters. So we just need the U. Okay, that's perfect. Now, I think we can leave this text white, or we can even make it this more yellow that we have for the white chocolate. I'm okay with that idea. Let's try that. Maybe it will help it soften it slightly. That's not bad. Okay, so now something I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a dotted line showing where the tear line would be on the packaging, so I'm aware of what will be torn off when the user uses their package and what will be there afterwards. Alright, so I'm going to continue to work on this packaging. I'll show a time lapse of it so you can see what I'm doing, and then I'll talk to you about it after. Wow, look at the difference of darkening this blue up. It helps so much with the contrast of being able to read the text. It's quite amazing. Alright, so after looking closer at their old packaging and their current packaging, I noticed that I was leaning more towards their old packaging, which I'm not terribly upset about because it is a lot more legible, it is a little more boring, and I can see how they're trying to spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to try to work and make it look a little more modern and give it more of that vibe they're going for. So to do that, I've decided that I'm gonna try real fast taking off this dipped chocolate look I have at the top, because on their old packaging they have a similar thing where it's like basically framing the packaging so they have a way to put more legible. So it seems like they're trying to go for more freeform. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this and see if I like it. I'll move some raspberries around to give it some balance. Seriously, stay still. Alright, so I have made the background quite a bit darker. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do the yellow and see if it's like the worst thing that I've considered. It's worth trying, right? So it's definitely a lot more legible than the current packaging on the left. I don't actually hate it, and I think it gives more of the vibe they're going for, so maybe I'll go ahead and keep it that way. Now let's go ahead and look at the back. I've saved out all the assets from the back and vectorized them in Illustrator in preparation for this video. So let's go ahead and pull in all the elements and see how this goes. Alright, I think I'm happy with this design. I have played with it and made it the way that I think it works best. I made sure that all this super important text was white so that the contrast is really high with the darker blue. I eliminated things that weren't necessary. I made the nutritional fact label more traditional with the white background, and the text is all black so that it's really easy to read. And I tried to stay true to the colors that they chose, but just modify them so that the contrast is higher. It's still more modern, playful, so I'm pretty happy with it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mock it up on my existing packaging, and I'll show you the final result. Alright, well I hope you found this video helpful, and also you found it a little fun to see how I would redesign a packaging design. And if there's any packages that you want me to consider redesigning in the future, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Make sure to subscribe to my channel below so you can receive notifications when I have new videos that come out about accessibility and design. So I hope that you have a fantastic week, and I will see you soon. Bye!